Now, it's been a rather interesting past week or so for Lucasfilm, one that has apparently pretty much revealed the future direction of the Star Wars franchise. First, we learned that Simon Kinberg, who has been responsible for some really good X-Men movies, as well as some not-so-good ones, as well as a few other maybe not-so-great films, and he also worked on Rebels with Dave Filoni. Well, we learn that he is going to be writing and producing a Star Wars trilogy, one that may or may not be episodes 10 through 12, depending on what insider you listen to or want to believe. Either way, he will not be directing, though again, he will be producing, and he will be doing that alongside none other than Kathleen Kennedy, or so this leaked information has said. Keep in mind that this was not an official Lucasfilm and or Disney announcement, but it was a story that many, or pretty much all of the major entertainment reporting outlets ran with, meaning it's almost certainly legit, plus Lucasfilm and Kinberg himself have not refuted any of this either. And so, assuming it is real, it would normally come as no surprise or not be all that noteworthy that Kennedy will be a producer on this. She's been one on all the Disney-era Star Wars projects, all the films and shows. But in this case, it is a little interesting to note that this was part of the information that leaked out that she will be producing. And considering we know her contract was up last month, it was up in October of 2024. So if she is going to be a producer on a whole trilogy that was just announced and is very likely only in the very early stages of development, it not only means her contract has, of course, been renewed, but that she could be around for quite a while yet. In fact, the whole timing of this leaked announcement is quite interesting when you stop and think about it. We've learned about this more or less right after her contract would have been renewed, meaning there's every chance that this is the plan going forward, that this is what she may have come up with and pitched to Disney in order to keep her job. This is what she thinks will bring Star Wars out of the slump it's been in as of late, especially on the movie front, where it's been 5 years now since the last one even came out, that of course being The Rise of Skywalker, which though it made $1 billion worldwide, which that's a large chunk of change in the grand scheme of things, but has to be seen as a disappointment to them, to Disney, given the first film in the trilogy made more than twice that much. But anyway, to go along with this, to go along with the idea that this new trilogy is not only potentially Kennedy's master plan to again sort of save Star Wars, but that she's also going to be around for a while to see it through, is that we have also learned in a very recent Hollywood Reporter article from an anonymous Lucasfilm insider, and with this being another major outlet, it is again likely, if not certainly, legit. But apparently they at Lucasfilm think that Rey is pretty much the one and only asset they have to bank on at this point. This article said that Rey was apparently going to be in not only the new Jedi Order movie, which was announced last April at Celebration, the one that would be directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, and has seen already at this point a couple different writers come and go. Apparently none of them could deliver just what Kennedy was looking for with the script, or what she dreams of for Rey's next story, or so we've heard anyway. But not only is Rey still going to be in that movie, but according again to this source in Lucasfilm, she's going to be a part of many projects going forward, likely this newly announced trilogy, that it'll be her trilogy, or a second Rey trilogy, I suppose. Basically, if all this is to be believed, Lucasfilm, under the leadership of Kathleen Kennedy, is going all in on Rey being the future and savior of Star Wars, and Disney seems to be all for it since they, again, renewed her contract. And I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. None of this is ever going to happen. How many announcements have we gotten from Lucasfilm over the past few years that go absolutely nowhere? This is all talk until we're actually sitting in a theater watching it, assuming anyone will be in a theater watching another Rey trilogy unfold. But anyway, though yes, this may never come to pass, it may never happen, we have every reason to be rather skeptical given their track record as of late. I really do think this is going to happen. A Rey trilogy is going to happen if Kennedy has indeed had her contract renewed, which again, this seems to imply, if we just kind of logically add this all up, and assuming this is all true information, which again seems likely, these are very credible sources. Though you might want to counter by saying perhaps this is actually a sign of the opposite, that perhaps someone new is already in as president or about to be in, as I've speculated before. If Kennedy is leaving Lucasfilm or is going to be sent packing, it probably won't be announced until Star Wars Celebration, where we can all celebrate her time at Lucasfilm and celebrate all her contributions to the Star Wars franchise. But if someone new is coming in or already in place, I highly doubt they'd be doubling down on Rey, doubling down on the mistake of the previous president. Though apparently Disney and Lucasfilm don't think she is a mistake. They don't think Rey is a mistake if they are indeed going to have her in several new films. With her again maybe even getting this trilogy in a manner of speaking. And my guess right now, and it's just a guess, but I think the Rey New Jedi Order movie will simply become part of this Kinberg trilogy. We know that writer Stephen Knight recently left the project, so it could be that Kinberg will now write the project or write this new Jedi Order film and make it a part of his trilogy. Though, yes, it's also possible that this anonymous source in Lucasfilm that the Hollywood Reporter talked to is wrong or has some old or outdated information. They may not or likely aren't privy to everything going on at the top of the company or at Disney. It could be that a change of the guard at Lucasfilm has been a very, very recent development, one that has been and will be kept under wraps until, again, Star Wars Celebration this coming April. But operating under the assumption this is all true, that Kennedy, again, has her contract renewed, that Kinberg is making a trilogy, and that it'll feature Rey, or she's going to be featured heavily going forward, because again they think she is the only asset they have, well, I find myself baffled that they think this or she, Rey, is the answer. They must believe there is a young but growing up generation of Star Wars fans out there who loved the sequels and that are going to be there to support a Rey trilogy, because I'm not so sure that many in the older generations, the prequel and OT generation of fans, are really all that excited for this. Now, sure, some are, no doubt. I'm sure there are plenty of older fans who love the sequels and love Rey, but if the sequels were extremely popular, if they were truly beloved by many, and that's what Disney and Lucasfilm believed, I don't know why it would have taken them so long, roughly 5 years at this point, and more when you consider we're still years away from actually getting these movies, again assuming they ever do get made. But I don't know why it would have taken them so long to try and capitalize off the success of the sequels. If you really want to know what Disney and Lucasfilm think of them internally, the fact that they've done a little to nothing with them, that there really hasn't been much new merchandise produced for them either, kind of tells you they don't think they're very marketable or potentially successful to keep exploiting. And if they truly felt like the sequels were, again, this huge popular thing that the majority of fans had enjoyed, we would have seen something involved with them, a movie or a show on Disney Plus, well before now. It would have been made as soon as they could have cranked it out, honestly, if they thought it would have been that successful. And so again, I feel like this is more them, for some reason, believing there is a younger generation of Star Wars fans out there who, in a few years, or even right now, but in a few years when these films are coming out, are going to be super excited for them, who are going to eat them up and propel the franchise into the future, I guess. The older fans be damned, they're gonna die sooner, might be their philosophy here, quite literally. And though, yeah, I'm sure there are some younger fans of Star Wars out there who became fans because of the sequel trilogy and who are super excited for the potential of a lot more Rey in the near future, but I don't know that they can or will become the new backbone of the franchise, if you will. I don't think there's enough of them to support this trilogy in a way that it'll be very successful. I also don't know that more Rey gets the very casual fan or that average viewer very excited for more Star Wars either. Again, if people were excited for her, we probably would have seen her sooner. Nor obviously does it get many of the big fans from the previous generations who didn't like the sequels very excited either. In fact, this probably does the opposite. If they go ahead and do this, more older fans who weren't fans of the sequels and are holding on hope for something new and different are likely going to jump ship. So again, this is a pretty baffling move on the part of Lucasfilm and Disney. This feels like Kathleen Kennedy somehow using some sort of unnatural dark side force powers to convince Disney that there will be an audience for a Rey movie or a Rey trilogy, that she can be the future of Star Wars, and that all the negativity that was around the sequels is, what, just going to go away with the new trilogy? I don't know. I really don't know what the hell they are thinking here. I do hope somehow, some way this all works out if this is what does come to pass. But if it is, this could be almost the final mistake for Star Wars, I fear. This could be the end of it if you go all in on this character, and yet, potentially, that is exactly what they're doing.
It's the last mistake you'll ever make.
Well, that's all I got for you this time. Now it is your turn to take to the comments below and tell me what you think about all this. Do you think Lucasfilm is really about to go all in on a Rey trilogy produced by Simon Kinberg and Kathleen Kennedy? Or are you not going to believe it until you actually see some proof of it, like it actually being in a theater? Whatever you think, though, leave a comment below and let's talk some Star Wars. And so until next time, thanks for watching.